Alright, back with our first match with a slightly different version of Keruga Fires. Not sure how I feel about Clever Impersonator, but could be reasonable. I'm not sure if the same person created the list, but the sideboard being card for card the same leads me to believe they might be the same person that created the other Explorer list that we used. So, not sure what we're up against. Could be Roger, could be alteration combo, could be just Dimir control. So, okay. So, do we pitch here? Elesh, Norn, or a land? What kind of 5-drops do we have? Any of our 5-drops particularly answer what's going on over there? Let's play that Incarnation while they're tapped out. So we have Kenrith. Yeah, I don't think we really want to. No, I think we should go to Impersonator here. With a Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Draw 2, don't really like it. It's interesting that they chose to take that down rather than up. That explains it. Opponent with a very unique build of whatever's going on over there. Touch the Spirit Realm. Deal with you. Bless you. Can't be blocked. This is a very weird one. Go ahead and sacrifice Fires. Get a Kenny. Pass turn. He killed Kenny. Alright. Dimir, pile of cards I own. Alright, and opponent realizes they're not going to be an infinite Atraxa loop. Problem is we have no idea what's good against our opponent's deck, because they showed us a very weird collection of magic cards. Like, normally Lockdown wouldn't be good against them, but they showed us that 2-drop, Mystical Dispute, good against like counter spells and lots of blue things. They showed us kind of like a tap out Dimir deck almost. So I think we might go down like 2 Lockdowns up 2 Mystical Disputes. Alright, this hand feels a little too... Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. We have every color except black. Keep and put back fires for now, I think. Turn 1 Dotsies. Feels like they're a Days Undoing. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. They're a Days Undoing combo deck. Now I understand. Let's go to Tolsimir. And perfectly fine with this. Sacrifice this. Get Heliod, Heliod, get back Fable. Alright, and opponent realizes Leyline Binding is going to come down and wreck their lives. So. Alright, back for another match. And seems okay. Although I don't have any red mana, so maybe that was a reason to mulligan. Shock that in, pass. guarantee I'd have red mana. I wouldn't make this play, but put that in my hand. Yep, here's the Valk. Okay. I just lose to mana difficulties here. Okay, do this into Incarnation. Get rid of that for 5 drops. Elesh Norn seems like it's in a pretty good spot here. Decisions. Okay, store to artifact. And Hudscapes. This is one of the matchups why I don't like Angels in the meta right now. Bonecrusher feels okay. Clever Impersonator, probably not the matchup for it. Might not be the matchup for Heliod. Elesh Norn's fine. Tolsimir's fine. Kenrith's fine. Koma would be the one to come out here, I think. If you're going to play Angels, you really need to play the Mana Dork version as opposed to the mid-range Devotion version, simply because it doesn't really swing your good matchups all that much in terms of playing the over-the-top Angels version, and it makes your bad matchups that much worse because you're not faster that you could be with Mystic and Landworld. So he actually has all the colors of the mana, so get off on the Adatha, play the Ketria, have all 5 land types, and binding something. Bishop of Wings, we'll see. Depends on what they play here, what 3-drop they play. Splendid Angel. Touch the Spirit Realm. So play this, take them off that. Could Fable. I think we're just supposed to protect our life total. Mainly because we don't want them like playing Collected Company or something and almost guaranteed turning on Righteous Valkyrie. Alright, play that. Play Fable. Back to nature. Cute. Not exactly a card you see a lot of in the meta. From white. Yep. That's just a weird card. Let's see if they brick, but if they don't, we're just dead. Splendid Marshal. Whoever enters the battlefield dies. Temperature MD, put plus one counter. Okay, they're still going to get an absurd amount of angels this turn. Puts the Valkyries out of range of a lot of things. Okay. Don't know that we can really play around back to nature all that much, and who knows how many is even in their sideboard. Feels like a very niche card. Let's see, what decks would it even be good against? Fires and maybe some variants of blue-white? Yeah. Decide to play. Mm-hmm. Feels like we might add back to nature here. The way things are sticking, they either have back to nature or Beseiju, I'm not sure which. Yeah, not the most impressive back to nature, that's for sure. Land. Redain, sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. Collect company is annoying here. Okay. Back to nature or besiege you? Destroy evil. Sure. Say opponent, tell me where the enchantment deck hurt you. Mm-hmm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We start by casting Elesh Norn. Mm-hmm. Atraxa, true. Survive. Binding. Trigger. Get untap land. Fires. Attacks this turn. Sure. So, Lightline Binding. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Powers of Invention. Go ahead and look at attack we really have is that. Yeah. So okay. This was risky because if they had destroy evil, we're just dead. Actually, no, they can't attack us with anything but the Archons. Yeah, Righteous Valk does nothing. Attack us with one of the Archons. And put us to 5. Getting them all these flyers back. Create a gain some life, make a rhino, target player. Gain some life, make a rhino. I think I'm just supposed to go after this Nykthos in case they draw. Kalia's resolution. Oh, I just enabled them the ability to collect a company into things. Get rid of temporary lockdown. Stomp one of these. See if they understand how prevention works. Attack. Attack. Just attack with Atraxa. Okay, they don't understand how prevention works. Alright, and they skip. Alright, final match for this week. We have 4 of our 5 colors, and we don't currently have as blue, but hopefully we'll draw a blue source, meanwhile we can play these. So, one of the downsides of the 5 color deck is you're not always going to have all the colors of the rainbow in your hand. Let's see if we run into blue-white control again, which has been, for some reason, everywhere lately. Just put this in our hand and pass. But maybe our opponent will tap out for something stupid here. Oop, no such luck. Guess we'll play Incarnation here. Good chance this gets countered, which is fine. Creativity combo will get their World Spine Worm Xenagod later this month. So, good for them. Let's go ahead and jam this. Yep, let's scan, make disappear, sure. All the hills you can die on. This is the one you go. Okay. Play fires into Sheoldred. Sure. Curious choice that you would bounce that during my turn. Third copy of Make Disappear. Okay. Klein. Alright, gives me a good target for this ley line binding. Doesn't seem like they possess the capability of killing this Sheoldred. Or if they do, it's going to take like 2 cards here. This for 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. 6, 7. 7 mana make a difference. Incarnation. Temporary lockdown. Not that it does much here, but does something. Opponent going for Hall of the Storm Giants. No locks. Alright, and they concede. Only presume we're up against blue-white or blue-red control of some kind. These fires I mentioned can come out. Clever Impersonator might have targets, but probably not good enough. Tolsimir. This must have borne out lockdown. Maybe. Tolsimir Impersonator back in. Alright. Okay. Sounds alright. Mostly because we have some early interaction. Put a mulligan to 5. Yowza. Okay. We'll tell something, sure. Watch that and pass. Dag nabbit. Gotta love auto tapping. Alright, somehow not punished for it. Okay. Play this, don't care if it gets killed or countered. How about if I go ahead and say no? Let's log off and go. Obviously, we would love to have Sheoldred in play by now, but alright, well, let's try to resolve Sheoldred. If they have them make disappear, they have them make disappear. At least they have to use, they just have to stay in full stroke. Okay. So they literally had different strokes for different folks. Got it. Okay. So what counterspell am I trying to play around here? Don't think anything. They just have all the disdainful strokes. Okay. How How many counterspells do you have? Okay. Yeah. Do you have another counterspell? You do not. Alright. Draw two. Draw two. Shock that in. Attack with Elesh Norn. Go to 6. You have for 1 mana. Spell Pierce. Sure, why not? Okay, that puts us to 2. Which is mildly terrifying. Oh, okay, so we're dead. Cool. Playing some type of weird tempo variant in the post-board games. We're supposed to bring in a couple of Clarions over like Impersonator and one Thought Distortion. Because clearly they have a bunch of counter spells, but they have like all the adventure creatures going on. So they're not a creativity deck, at least not post-board. So they may just like literally be as a control. Alright, his hand needs to draw a land, but alright, so we might lose here. Alright, we draw a land. It's not the one we necessarily want, but maybe the one we deserve. That resolve. Go ahead and binding it. Playing a Fable into their stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep, I guess we'll Spell Pierce here because we're choked on lands, and now we're probably just going to fall too far behind. Because our mystical dispute's getting worse, and they're... What card did they suspend? Or... is that just like a hard counter? Indeed it is. Okay. So our only prayer is... never mind, we don't have a prayer. I do deal direct damage. Yep, it can. Alright, we're dead. GG's for our opponent. Alright, so I don't know if this version is superior or inferior to the one we played in the first video with this deck on the channel. I suspect whoever developed this list is the same one that developed the first one we played, because the sideboard is almost card for card. They got rid of Carnival Carnage, or whatever it is, to get 2 more temporary lockdowns on the sideboard, which is fine. The rest of the sideboard lines up fine. Main deck changes. Looks like they shaved the what is it? Baleful Mastery and the Spider for Bonecrusher Giant, Clever Impersonator, and they swapped Agent of Treachery for Titan of Industry, which in some ways makes sense because really Agent doesn't feel like it does a whole lot in matchups anymore, which is weird to say, but there are very few things you'd want to steal, like maybe a Sheoldred. But yeah, they shaved Katose, they shaved the 2 copies of Baleful Mastery and 1 copy of Temporary Lockdown to fit in the 3 Bonecrusher Giants and the Clever Impersonator, and then Titan was shaved for Agent. All of those, I think, are net positive changes. We didn't really have an opportunity to use Clever Impersonator, but in some ways it feels very similar to Agent of Treachery, but for a lot less. Plus you can copy your own stuff. The one downside with Fable in this deck is you really don't have anything to copy. You have like Bonecrusher Giants now, but like the rest of your deck, I guess Titan and Agent you had, but they both kind of do the same thing. Everything else is legendary. So, don't know if the mana base got changed. I think only running these 2 of the land or utility lands makes sense. And then a bunch of Triumphs, a bunch of Shocks, a few of the Buddy lands, and 1 basic Plains. So you're a little bit vulnerable in this version to something like Field of Ruin and such. Not that that sees huge play, but yeah, I think overall this is a interesting twist on the version that we played. I do really have liked this sideboard so far. Mystical Disputes come in against a lot of your terrible matchups. Blue-White X Control, Izzet Control, Spirits, all of those are pretty terrible matchups. Leyline really helps against Greasefang. Thought Distortion, good against a lot of matchups. Extra Sweeper is obviously good against the aggressive decks that can get under you. So really kind of hard to argue with any of these changes. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you for our next video.